security is a general term for the protection of vessels both internally and externally. The areas from which ships and maritime operations need protecting include terrorism, piracy, robbery, illegal trafficking of goods and people, illegal fishing, and pollution. Nothing destroys crew trust like thinking there is a thief on board. Especially when crew is in shared cabins. The first rule to living in shared quarters is to not bring things of value on board with you. Alternatively, you can buy luggage that locks or luggage locks to throw on your bags, and things you don't want pilfered can be kept in those. Obviously, things like lighters, cigarettes, or cash laying about are easy to walk away and hard to prove ownership. When transporting valuable goods and resources, there are sometimes attempts at the local level to steal these goods from vessels. Ship's crew need to be vigilant for this reason both in port and at sea, to make sure valuable and sensitive cargo is secure. Smuggling can involve anything from illegal drugs to protected wildlife. If contraband is detected on board, it may have serious consequences to ship, cargo, and not least the crew. Ship captains and crew should be alert when operating in high-risk areas to prevent stowaways from getting access to the ship. On a vessel, a stowaway might hide in the cargo holds, engine room, containers etc. to prevent others from identifying him. However, if found, the captain must search his belongings for any documents to know his identity and nationality. Human traffickers recruit, transport, and exploit their victims via commercial shipping, fishing vessels, cruise lines, and private yachts from ships at sea to coastal and inland ports. Pirates and armed robbers continue to pose a threat to seafarers in high-risk waters and ports. Ships can and should take measures to protect themselves from pirates and armed robbers. The initial message for a piracy or armed robbery attack is, "Mayday, Mayday, Mayday." Ship's name, ship's name, ship's name, ship's position and time of position, latitude and longitude, course and speed, pirates attacking, pirates attacking, pirates attacking. Terrorism can occur where the intention is to destroy or damage property by bringing small vessels with explosives near to your vessel. Your vessel can be boarded, hijacked, and deliberately used as a weapon against an offshore installation. The International Ship and Port Facility Security (ISPS) Code was adopted to implement measures and procedures to prevent acts of terrorism that threaten the security of passengers, crews, ships, and port facilities. The SSP or Ship Security Plan is a mandatory document under the International Ship and Port Facility Security (ISPS) Code. An SSP is developed to provide direction on the procedures to be followed on board a ship during emergencies and threats. The SSP identifies restricted areas, and access to such areas is controlled by preventive action. Information regarding how to maintain critical operations of the ship and respond to the security threats. Evacuation procedure in case of a security breach. Procedures for training, drills and exercises. Procedures for reporting and auditing security-related incidents. CSO and SSO are identified along with their 24-hour contact details. The duties of each ship's personnel in case of a security breach are detailed. The ship security officer is the person responsible for inspecting the ship to ensure security measures are observed, coordinating the security of cargo handling in ship stores, promoting a culture of security awareness and vigilance on board a ship, ensuring that shipboard personnel have been trained, reporting all security incidents and threats, coordinating with the PFSO as required. The Port Facility Security Officer is the person responsible for the development, implementation, revision, and maintenance of the Port Facility Security Plan and for liaising with the ship security officers. Security Level 1 ensures that the minimum appropriate measures for identifying and preventing security incidents are in place on board ships. All ships at SL1 must undertake the following actions: ensure the correct performance of all security routines, control access to the ship, control the embarkation of people and their effects, ensure that only authorized persons have access to restricted areas, monitor deck areas and areas surrounding the ship, supervise the handling of cargo and ship stores, ensure that secure communication is readily available. Security Level 2 requires additional protection measures to be implemented to protect against the heightened risk of a security incident. These controls may include assigning additional crew to visibly patrol deck areas during silent hours to prevent unauthorized boarding, limiting access points to the ship by identifying those to be closed and providing the means to secure them, undertake a full or partial search of the ship, deterring waterside access to the ship, including the provision of boat patrols, establishing a restricted area on the shoreside of the ship, increasing the frequency and effectiveness of searches of people, personal effects, and vehicles being embarked, escorting all visitors on board the ship. Security Level 3 is activated in exceptional circumstances when the threat of a security incident is imminent. The SSP should list potential security measures that may include limiting access to a single controlled access point, granting access only to those persons responding to the security threat, close supervision of non-crew persons on board, suspension of cargo operations, evacuation of the ship if deemed necessary, preparing for a full or partial search of the ship,